Hello, Internet! I'm Sim, this is John. We are twitching with sheer joy to be in front of you again today. Welcome back. We know it's been a while. We have just got back, literally now, in silence from seeing Kick-Ass 2. So gird your loins for a completely spoiler-filled, immediate, visceral, we haven't spoken about this, so it's going to be surprise to each of us, review of Kick-Ass 2.
Bam!
Go!
I think it was amazing, and I have a problem with a lot of critics that had a, initial reaction that it was, slightly in bad taste. It's black comedy, I'm sure these critics loved Pulp Fiction, and yet they had so many issues with some of the stuff that I found was amazing. I laughed from beginning to end. I hardly recommend this. Before I go into the nitty gritty, that's just my main feeling about the movie. It's something that I would recommend to everyone. Sim, what do you think?
I'm down a few notches from you.
Oh, no.
I think it was trying to be a black comedy. However, it felt more American Pie than it did anything. It was like it verged from black into gross out. And there was a few moments where it was just like either unnecessary or whatever. But no, it was funny. There was definite funny moments. There was definite good action moments. It didn't have the heart of the original.
Okay, this is interesting because I think a lot of people want to compare the second one with the first one.
Well,
to understand
it's natural.
It is natural, and to an extent, fighting that kind of urge was a bit of a problem. But after a while, I thought, you know what? It's a different director. Obviously, Jane Goldman's script. I think her script from the first one was plotted just as well as the second one, but I think the lines that were being said to really go at the theme of the plot in the first one was a little bit more subtle, whereas this one was a little bit too on the nose. Having said that, I didn't mind because it wasn't taking itself too seriously. It took me back to films like, say, Airplane, anything that's like, say, The Naked Gun. You don't have to watch this movie and try and gain some sense of reality from it. It was fun. It was
but that was
fun.
what the point of the first one was. Even for how the first one, assuming you've seen the first one.
If you haven't, then you're a loser and you should watch something else.
Even the ridiculousness of the finale, of the rocket launcher, silly ridiculousness, OTT-ness of the original, it was still couched in the concept of reality, of people putting on coloured pyjamas and going and beating people up. This didn't feel real. It felt ludicrous and ridiculous.
Excellent.
And I'm not going to lie, it was fun, but it's a different tone. It's a different type of film than the first one. I personally would have wanted to see a bit more of the original, but I accept what it is because there's only so far you can go with the kind of air quotes reality of it, because it is a ridiculous concept anyway. So they kind of accepted that, but I think they ran with it a little too much, where they could have done with a little bit of humility and a bit of characterization. There was just so many people that no one I really latch onto.
I'll say this much, if we're going to go all negative on it, I think Jim Carrey's character could have been played by somebody else, and I wanted it to be played by someone else. It's this weird thing, when you see Jim Carrey on screen, you want him to be like The Mask, you want him to be this wild kind of animated creature. And because, I have to finish this point, I think because of the lower energy of this character, he's playing Stars and Stripes, I just kept on thinking, why did they get Jim Carrey? Why is he on the posters? He's hardly in the movie. These guys really wanted to make sure this second movie sold, and so they got him in. I think if he's got a reason for stepping back from it, it's not because of the gratuitous violence, it's because he didn't really offer anything. I think he just got scared. I think he got very scared. So,
I agree. Stars and Stripes could have been played by anybody. Yeah, however, I thought Carrey's portrayal of it was great. It didn't feel phoned in, which is what I was worried about him turning up and not really being asked about it. He actually felt good. It felt visceral. Obviously, he's kind of mirroring the Big Daddy role of the first one, in that he's the patron of the group who gets nobbled. Spoiler there. He gets done in, that kind of mobilises the team, the people, the other heroes. So
he's their Coulson.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think he worked. I'm very happy. I'm very happy with his performance. I thought there was no characterization of the villains. I thought the motherfucker was just a joke.
He was awesome.
The thing is, in the first one, you actually got no. But the thing is, in the first one, you actually got the kind of anger, that he was the nerdy kid who wanted to do good by his dad, wanted to get in on like the crime thing, and then actually got personally offended. You saw the rage and the anger. Whereas in this one, he was just a caricature.
Okay, I think what makes him very, very interesting is not only was he like a really evil kind of joke, but he was afraid of being who his father, his uncle, everyone who's saying all this stuff about him, saying that he's special, needs to be looked after. He really doesn't want to be that person. That's why he escapes that identity via being termed as the motherfucker. So I found him interesting in that way. He's kind of like what Anakin Skywalker is, but with more humor and more gross out. He definitely is afraid of the potential of being something else that isn't necessarily where he wants to be. His ego is driving him to these dark places. I thought he was awesome. For the amount of time he had on the screen, the motherfucker was motherfucking awesome. He should get his own movie. No, don't. And I think also I want to say, people have been saying that Hit Girl should get her own movie. I don't think that's a good idea because she works in contrast with Kick-Ass.
I think I was a bit annoyed at her arc, for what they did with her. They kind of like, I want to be a normal girl, but it was essentially she wanted to be a normal girl, so she accidentally fell into the plot of Mean Girls.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. I think that. I mean, do you want to say any more about it? Because I've got something else to say on that.
I will simply say that I didn't get her side arc particularly. It bored me. I also think that she was always meant to be the kind of the strong rock character, whereas Kick-Ass never actually got to that point where if they're going to swap roles, he would have to be the stoic, stalwart guy, and he flip-flopped back and forth. He got his ass kicked. He was like, I want to be a hero. I don't want to be a hero. I'm going to kick ass. I'm not going to kick. And there was no consistency of him. I needed one of them to be the emotional straight guy.
I think regarding that whole subplot, it's kind of telling of the whole movie. If you're watching, say, as I said before, Naked Gun or Airplane, you do not analyze it to such a great extent because you know what it is. It's basically just taking the piss out of itself and anything else. It's a party on set. I'm sure in between takes, these guys were probably having the best time of their life. I mean, they can't understand probably Jim Carrey like saying, you know what, this is such a dark movie. I can't condone this because you don't see it in the same way as real violence.
I did get the sense of fun. There was a lot of moments where you could tell they were absolutely. You got that bounding enthusiasm on screen for what it was they were doing, and I do not blame them in the slightest.
So to come back to the whole Mean Girls thing, I think essentially that again was them having fun. They're not trying to make this big, massive comment on pop culture. Obviously, it is a satire, but I don't think they're too worried about conflicting messages in this movie. You're not supposed to take it seriously. When you flick through a funny book, because they used to be called, does anyone call them that anymore? You probably don't. But
only old-timers like yourself.
Hey man, I'm only 25. So essentially, I don't think that you're watching this movie and loving it if you're analysing it for the things that you found in the first one. You kind of quickly adjust to it, or you don't. But either way, I think watching it again, I'll probably have even more fun because I just want to go online and send as many people quotes. I mean, what else did Hit Girl say? I can kill a guy with his little finger, or she calls someone an ass burger or game on cunt motherfucker. I don't know. She says so much stuff that I will go online tonight and I will have to digest all of it. So
I must admit, it's not a film. It's not a film that we should be sat picking it apart. Overall, it was fun. It was better than I expected. Because the same any kind of sequel where you've got the big concept set up. Well, in the first one, then you have the second one. It's like, what are you going to do with it? I thought it never dragged. I never checked my watch. I was always engaged. I laughed. I winced many times. And I thought, as a team thing, it was good. But that's the thing, because in my mind, I'm holding it up against the first one, which had more of an emotional resonance and you got behind individual characters. I missed that, but I guess that, what I was given was something else as good. Just, I was expecting one thing and they gave me another. That's probably the difference. Before we finish, I've got a question for you, which has just come out of the ether, without
resorting to knowing what's happening in the publication, the ongoing publication of Kick-Ass 3, where do you think these characters will go in the next movie? Because it's got a mad idea.
Is that asking me?
I'm
or
asking
them?
you. I'm asking everyone.
I honestly don't know, because they end the film with essentially the end of the heroes. Heroes are now, they're making real people heroes. There was some weird message in there of going, if you can be a hero in real life.
It's a bit wanky. Honestly, don't read
It was a
into
little bit.
It was like...
but it's, the weird, because he ends it, there's an after credits sequence, and a certain young gent named the motherfucker survives, but has no legs. And I just going, oh God, Robofucker.
Yes, you heard it here first. He's calling it Robofucker.
Robofucker.
They need to do it. I've got 3 things I want to say. It branches off from probably the most awkward moment in the movie, where at the end, you've seen this, so it's spoiler time. Hit girl kisses Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
Whoa! It took a bit of adjustment, but she's 15 in the film and he's 18, 17. I don't know. I think
the irony being that, the young lad in question, the actor in real life, he likes his ladies a little bit older. So
there you go. That's fine. I just want to say that was strange, because I wanted them to keep them just apart, but have us think it, because I think at some point we started to think it, because she started to get a bit more of a sexual realization in the movie, as you all saw. But I do think that they've got a great idea for the third one, in that maybe there's a sexual tension between them. Maybe she comes back to the city. They never name it, do they? Is it New York?
Well, no, it's New York.
It's New York? Okay.
They had New York Post and shit everywhere.
Okay. She comes back to the city and she's maybe gone a bit too far in the head. I think he becomes her conscience, and the way that he draws her back maybe could be a bit of a love story. But they have to get a writer who understands subtlety. We don't need to have this knocked in the head. Second thing, I think if possible, they should have a real superhero with powers. I'm not sure how they would do it, because wait, hear me out. This universe is already fucking crazy. So having that in there could be also good. And thirdly, I'd like there to be some kind of big dramatic death. I don't know which one should go, but I think the third one should be the end. I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
A dramatic death is difficult in this, because everybody gets nobbled all the time. And, the death toll in it was ludicrous. The only dramatic death you can have is Hit Girl or Kick-Ass.
Well, they had a big death in each movie so far, right? You've got Big Daddy in the first one, second one, Stars and Stripes. I didn't feel too bad about him, because
it's fathers and father figures.
Yes.
Big Daddy was both of those things, and now we've both had father and patron going in this one.
So if we could have some kind of, they need to warp the relationship between Kick-Ass and Hit Girl a little bit more, I think. And then when one of them dies, we really feel it. That's what I think. What do you think should happen in the third one as a closer to this mad spoiler farm?
I'd like, I'd really like, I'd basically like them to do, is it Superior?
Oh, yeah.
Because they had the poster for that in it, where he's the evil Batman.
So that's the one with the powers that I was talking about?
No, I bet, because we're going to have the Robofucker. Yeah. So imagine basically him, rather than him hiring loads of other goons to do it, he does a Batman.
Okay.
Where he's he basically tools himself up, and because, he becomes a superhuman through the technology or whatever. He basically becomes unstoppable. But the thing is...
The Robofucker.
The thing is, because it's not like blowing up banks or, heisting plutonium or something like that. All of the crimes are real. So you've got muggers. I guess I was going to say muggers and rapists. I'm quite glad we didn't have that scene. And
no,
it made
right.
The fact they acknowledged the girlfriend and then they had them broke up. Kind of undid what they did in the first one, but I don't mind. But it made more sense with Night Bitch.
Night Bitch. Oh,
but it made more sense that would be a catalyst for him.
Yeah.
Rather than some bird that I used to go out with.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I also think, did you ever watch Scrubs?
Yes, Donald Faison.
Yeah, Turk. Has he got rid of his mole?
No, he was still there.
I was looking for it. I wasn't sure.
He was wearing his mask.
Yeah.
I did enjoy his character.
Where's his mole gone?
I did enjoy his character. It was
confused me.
Yeah, he was entertaining though. I mean, on the bad guys, I wanted to see more of the henchman, really.
The henchman.
You got Andy Nyman playing the tumor, who's little. Admittedly, I was looking out for him, but it's kind of like his little moments was actually quite hilarious. You had the Mongolian, was it?
Oh wait,
guy?
Genghis
Carnage,
Genghis
and his voodoo friend or whatever.
Oh wait, it was Black Death?
Black Death.
Why are you getting so racist? They're archetypes.
It's not stereotypes, it's archetypes. It's so stereotypes. But anyway, I thought they were entertaining. To be honest, I would have happily seen more of them than the motherfucker, because the motherfucker was boring.
You thought it was boring?
I thought the only bit where I actually thought, okay, yeah, I recognise this bit, was after the scene in the prison where when his Alfred is killed over the phone, because that seemed like this has pushed him to a degree further than what it was. Yeah. But it didn't actually seem to change him at all. He just had that moment of steely determination and then went back to doing exactly the thing. I guess that might have been the thing that made him kill the father, but I can imagine him doing that anyway.
This is maybe if there is a problem in this film, before we wrap up, because I think we've gone
we've
done quite a bit. We want to analyse it to death because the first one kind of made us want to think about the messages it was sending out about society and caring and doing stuff and characters. It's mad comedy. Watch it. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Have fun.
It is very fun. It's very enjoyable. It's ludicrous.
Lots of shit happens.
You can't judge it on kind of normal story tropes because it is so ludicrous and so OTT. Good sequel, I would say.
Good
Thumbs
sequel.
up.
You've all seen it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching a spoiler-filled trailer. Otherwise, you're insane.
Otherwise, go and enjoy it.
Yeah. Good. Great. We're done.
Until next time, I'm Sim.
I'm John.
Toodaloo.
Bye.